In April 2023, Sudan descended into civil war as long-standing tensions between the army and the rival paramilitary group RSF erupted into violence. The initial clashes ignited in the capital, Khartoum, and subsequently spread throughout the nation. This conflict has resulted in thousands of deaths and has displaced millions of individuals. Countless people are now on the verge of famine and are grappling with outbreaks of disease. The situation has worsened in Darfur and Kordofan, where civilians are encountering restricted access to safe routes and are struggling to secure food and medical assistance. Furthermore, the RSF and its allies have established a parallel government in regions they control, primarily in the western area of Darfur, where investigations into allegations of war crimes and crimes against humanity are currently underway. Here's all you need to know. The decision to establish a parallel government is expected to exacerbate the ongoing crisis in Sudan. In this new administration, the RSF-led Tarsus Alliance has designated General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, the leader of the paramilitary group, to preside over the Sovereign Council. This council, comprised of 15 members, functions as the head of state. The declaration was made 5 months following the signing of a charter by the RSF and its partners in February in Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, which aimed to create a parallel government in regions under RSF control. At the time, many countries, including the US, rejected the RSF efforts and condemned the signing by the paramilitary group and its allies of what they called transitional constitution in the Kenya-hosted conference. In a formal statement, the Foreign Ministry, representing the internationally acknowledged government in Khartoum, denounced the recent announcement. They referred to it as a fake government and appealed to the global community to refrain from interacting with the administration led by the RSF. The RSF faces allegations of various heinous acts. The Biden administration imposed sanctions on Dagalo, asserting that the RSF and its affiliates are engaged in acts of genocide. In response, the RSF has refuted these claims of genocide. This group emerged from the infamous Janjaweed militias, which were mobilized by former President Omar al-Bashir approximately 20 years ago to target populations in Darfur who identify as Central or East African. The Janjaweed were charged with perpetrating mass murders, sexual assaults, and other grave offenses. The ongoing crisis in Sudan has once again brought attention to the issue of political instability across Africa. This instability can largely be traced back to challenges in leadership throughout the continent. Many African nations are run in manners that deviate significantly from the contemporary state systems they aim to emulate. Leadership has deep roots in African cultural practices and traditions. While the specific forms and contexts may vary, these nations possessed effective governance strategies long before colonial influences took hold. When multi-party democracy emerged during the so-called third wave of democratization, numerous regimes across African countries resisted the changes that came with this political shift. Consequently, alterations were made to the constitutional framework and state institutions to establish an uneven playing field for the opposition. The previous generation of African leaders regarded democracy and development as fundamentally opposed, linking democracy with ethnic strife that squandered scarce resources. Through political repression, African leaders transformed the realm of politics into a battleground. As a result, they became surrounded by numerous adversarial forces. This state of constant siege diverted their focus away from development, which they consequently deemed a low priority. The ongoing trauma from relentless and arbitrary rule has transformed African societies into entities that evoke fear, prompting others to avoid, deceive, or conquer them whenever possible. This subjugation has led to a waste of Africa's human resources, which are crucial for development. On a community level, it has eroded the traditional resilience of the populace, resulting in a widespread experience of confusion, withdrawal, despair, or even quiet rebellion among individuals. The devastating impact is evident in the increasing number of refugees fleeing their homes. With many of the continent's elites choosing to leave for better opportunities abroad, African nations have lost a significant portion of their most skilled and talented individuals.